Today is Wednesday, April 14th, and don't forget that starting today, we need to study our benchmark fractions, decimals, percents flashcards each day. Just kind of scroll through the flashcards, flip them over, test yourself. You can also change the study mode down here to matching, learn, flashcards. Also, you can test yourself as well. Make sure that you know these. These are required for a test that's coming up. Also, in your life, it's really important to know the equivalence of all these fractions, including their decimals and percents. Okay, so today we are reviewing addition and subtraction equations. Don't forget, this is something we've already studied quite extensively. Chapter 8 in the textbook. We've already taken tests over all this. So anything you do as a review video and daily, quiz check, all of these things, the grade you get is what you get. So make sure that you come to Math Help if you don't understand how to do this. Also, you can retake the quizzes as needed. You can even ask that the Edpuzzle videos get reset for you to redo. And please just send me a message in the Canvas inbox to remind me of that, and I'll get those reset. Okay, we're going to identify components of an equation, including variable, coefficient, constant, and term. And we will be focusing on what it means to use the inverse operations to solve for a variable. So please read through all the information about what variables are, what equations are. Equations have an equal sign. They show two equivalent expressions. And very often we're asked to solve the equation, which means to figure out what the unknown number is, to get rid of this number 4 and find out what the p actually stands for. Okay, or whatever the variable may be. So this video here will walk you through all the notes from the chapter 8 in the book. So please look at that as needed. You've got also examples of what concrete models look like to solve for equations. This is how to solve an equation using a picture representation called bar diagram. All right, so we're going to go and look at our textbook. Okay. Key's concept is the idea of using inverse to solve an equation. So the whole thing is one side is always equal to the other side. So whatever you do to one side, you'll have to do to the other side, and it will stay equal. So for example, the subtraction property of equality means that if I want to get this x by itself, and there's a plus 2 on this side, as long as I subtract 2 from both sides, it's still equal, and I can discover that x was really equivalent to the number 1. 1 plus 2 equals 3, and that makes sense. Same thing is true for the addition property of equality. So if you add something to both sides, it's going to stay equal as long as you add the same amount to both sides. So if you have x minus 2 is equal to 3, then if I add plus 2, that's going to zero out. Then we go back to what we talked about, 0 pairs. Negative 2, positive 2 is 0, so all I have here is the x left. And 3 plus 2 is 5. So if we go back up here and see if this equation actually if the variable actually is equal to 5, 5 minus 2 is 3, so that is correct. Okay, we're going to do a few word problems to practice these concepts together. Okay, so when you take the STAR test this year, it's going to be online only, which means you will not be given a booklet with all of the word problems written out in it for you to underline and circle. So you're going to be using tools on the computer to highlight and circle and that kind of thing. And you also will need some notebook paper in order for you to do calculations to solve the word problem as you go along. And please remember, most of the time in 6th grade, word problems are multi-step, so you can't just read it once and know exactly what the answer is going to be. Not usually. Okay, so let's go ahead and read this first problem. Number 18 says, Keisho has $45 to spend at a pizza shop for a pizza party. The table shows the cost of each size of pizza. He bought 4 small pizzas and 1 large pizza. Which addition equation can be used to determine how much more money he still has to spend? So I'm going to go back and really look at the question first. It says which addition equation. So off to the side, I'm going to go ahead and write something plus something equals something, because I know I need to ultimately write an addition equation. And the other thing that I know is $45. So whatever my addition equation is going to be equal to $45. And I know that he bought 4 small pizzas and 1 large pizza. So small pizzas, I'm going to circle that, are $5. 4 small pizzas. What operation is that going to be if I have 4 groups of this amount? Answer that for me, please. Very good. That is multiplication. You could solve it with addition, but the easiest thing to do is what repeat addition is, which is multiplication. So that's going to be 4 times 5. But then he also bought 1 large pizza. So 1 large pizza, 1 times 10. Okay. So how much money has he spent so far? So I'm going to add these two things together. 4 times 5 is what? Answer that, please. That's right. It's 20. And 1 times 10 is what? That's 10. So 20 plus 10 is how much? Very good. That is 30. So over here, I've got that I spent $45 altogether. The question says which addition equation can be used to determine how much more money he still has to spend. So we don't know how much money. So I'm going to go ahead. I noticed down here they're using the letter X. So I'll go ahead and use the letter X. X plus, we've already spent 30. X plus 30 is equal to $45 is what's happened so far. And if I wanted to go ahead and solve for that, then I'm going to do what with this number 30? Answer that for me, please. Exactly. We would actually subtract 30 from both sides, and X is going to be equal to, what is 45 minus 30? That's exactly right. X is going to be equal to $15, which is not what they asked us to figure out. But if I come down here, X plus 30 is equal to 45. The answer is actually going to be C. That's the addition equation that we would use to begin to solve the problem. Number 19, a grocery store is having a 2 for the price of 1 sale for several items. The cost of these items is shown in the table. Davion bought 2 boxes of cereal, 2 loaves of bread. He also paid 39 cents for tax. The equation X minus 450 plus $1.99 plus 39 cents is equal to $13.12 can be used to determine how much money he gave the cashier. Determine how much money in dollars Davion gave the cashier if he received $13.12 in change. Okay, so let's set this problem up. We are going to figure out what X is, but in order to do that, we have to actually figure out what's in the parentheses first. So go ahead, and I want you to add $4.50 plus $1.99 plus 39 cents. Do that for me now. Okay, so write out this addition problem. Make sure that you've lined up all the decimals and go ahead and solve for that, please. Okay, you should have gotten $6.88. So if we put that in place of the expression in the parentheses, our equation is now X minus $6.88 is equal to $13.12. If I want to get X by itself, then I'm going to have to do the inverse of minus $6.88. So what's the opposite going to be? Is that going to be add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Go ahead and answer that for me, please. Very good. We're going to actually add $6.88. This creates a 0 pair, so it leaves us with X on its own. And then we just need to line up the decimals again. So if I write $6.88, go ahead and make sure everything's lined up perfectly. And I want you to add that to $13.12. Go ahead and solve that, please. Very good. The answer is that he gave the grocery store cashier $20 bill. $20 minus $6.88 is equal to $13.12. Okay, so today we reviewed addition and subtraction equations. We learned that an equation shows two expressions are equivalent by using an equal sign. We learned that unknown numbers can be represented by using variables, and we can solve for what those unknown amounts are by using a couple different properties of equality. Don't forget that on our lesson objectives page, you do have the benchmark fractions to practice. You also have videos that you can watch for more information and examples you can read through as needed. Don't forget we have extra credit always available as well. In our textbook, if you open up to page 610, look in the table of contents for equations, you can read more about the subtraction property of equality and the addition property of equality. Now I need you to answer this question for me. What is something important to remember about addition and subtraction equations? Be thoughtful about this. Do not say, I don't know. Thank you for your thoughtful response. Please come to class if you have any questions. Please come to Math Help if you need more support.